Hello and welcome to episode 28 of Seagulls Social. I am your host Maz, and of course I'm joined by my co-hosts Ben and Ryan. And just quickly, boys, I want to just, if anyone's watching on YouTube, I am wearing a very, very creasy top, so apologies for that. However, we are also, another thing to add, we are filming this in the morning, which is very different for us. I'm still half asleep, which shows you...
Yeah, if you can tell, my eyes are a lot smaller than they normally should be. And it should not be this way.
Yeah. So sorry.
I'm fine. I'm literally alright.
Ryan's good. He's had his black
Nothing's
coffee.
changed for me.
You had your black coffee with no milk or
strong
sugar.
black coffee. All good.
I'm still. For me, that's.
I'll have sugar. Not one sugar.
Oh, you got sugar?
Well, not even one sugar. Yeah, literally like half a sugar, if that. Just a little bit.
You really are older than us, aren't you?
You're a nutter,
mentally,
mate.
You're so much older than me and now that's mental.
Yeah, you're
I think I did a mental age test actually, and I'm like 40 something.
It does not surprise me, mate.
It's mad. It's mad.
That's amazing. Right, again, right. Let's get into the game then, boys. So, on the whole, I thought we looked really good. Like, it was actually a really strong performance from us. But for some reason, Emi Martinez turned into a prime Gianluigi Buffon, which just absolutely killed us.
Do you see his Instagram post and his Twitter post?
No, what did
he was like, not today, with loads of. He put not today with all the stop emoji signs, and Matty Ryan liked the post on Insta. I was like, Matty, what are you doing?
No, did he actually?
Yeah, he did.
I
saw it this morning.
What a scumbag!
But no, fair play. I think I replied to it like GG, like fair play.
Yeah.
He kept your team in that game,
didn't he?
Yeah, some of those saves. I remember, was it the one where he saved it like low to his right? I think it was from Welbeck. I want to say. I think that was the one.
Yeah, that was good.
Like late on.
Well, Dan Burn's header. That was the golden opportunity.
Yeah,
that
was
top
great
corner
save.
that was going.
Cracking save.
And what was it? He made 9 saves. He made 9 saves yesterday, which was a record for him, I think. Or
really?
Was it Premier League record?
Wow.
That's most for him.
Yeah, most for him. Right,
it's only 8 saves he made when he played against Liverpool, which is.
Of course, it's against Brighton.
Yeah, I literally said this, Ryan. Yeah, I said this. I was like, against West Ham. I don't know if you guys remember, but like Lingard's goals were awful. Like,
he
went through his, and then he turns up against us and was like incredible. I was like, great, just.
It reminded me of the Areola one when we drew to Fulham. Like, he just decided to have his best performance ever. Just think, fuck's sake, why is us?
Yeah, but then a question I've got, boys.
Literally.
So. One question I've got to you, and we'll start with you, Ryan. Do you think then? So, of course, look, Emi Martinez pulled off some amazing saves. Like, there's no getting away from that. It was a really, really good performance from him. But do you think it was also a factor of like poor finishing, or do you think it was just incredible goalkeeping?
I think, well, with some of the efforts, like as we said, the Burn one. I mean, he couldn't have done much more. He put it right in the top corner, and he reached that somehow. Welbeck, you could argue, maybe could have got a bit more on it, but it's still a great save. It's just it's frustrating, isn't it? Trossard's one, I think he had a shot, a good save, probably one you'd expect him to make.
Oh, was that the deflection?
So, was it?
That deflected off one of the defenders?
Took a little nick maybe.
Oh, there's one outside the box
as well had a shot on the edge. Alexis deflected. So they're all pretty decent efforts, and they didn't go in. Veltman had a few.
I think out of the 26 attempts that we had, like 26 is fucking mental. That's just back to our old ways, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's probably more than we faced against United, had against United. But like out of those 26, I think we had 2 golden opportunities. One was the Alexis header that went over the bar like really early on.
Yeah.
And the other golden opportunity was Dan Burn. I think you're probably right, Maz. I think your question was the finishing poor. I think, again, our finishing was quite poor from those opportunities. Yeah. So when we get into those good opportunities, especially Dan Burn, his attacking positioning on FIFA is probably like 99 out of 100. It's mental how he gets in those positions constantly. Even when he's playing left centre-back, he wasn't even playing left wing-back yesterday. And in the first half, he had 2 unbelievable opportunities. It's like, how are you there? But
True.
I slated him last week. Him and all the defence had a really solid game. And I think Villa only had one opportunity on goal, and they were so organised and so solid. And that's another clean sheet.
This is the thing, though. Like we actually genuinely played really well. Like, I'm not faulting any of the players. I don't think anyone played poorly. Like we actually played really well, and we dominated. For me, pretty much the whole 90 minutes. I don't really remember, apart from that one time in the second half when Jack Grealish was nearly through on goal and like basically could have scored essentially. Like, I think it was around the 75th, 80th minute. But apart from that, I genuinely think we done really well, and we dominated the whole game. And XG again, we were XG champions. So yeah, 2.59 to Aston Villa's 0.13. 0.13.
It's just like, how is that even possible?
Like, that is a shambles.
I don't even know.
So yeah, we're gonna. You never sing that. XG champions. You'll never sing that. We're gonna win that.
Turn that into a chant.
Yeah, we're gonna win that.
I was gonna say though, Joel Veltman.
Oh,
yeah,
what a player! Man.
Give him a knighthood.
So
give him a key to the city. What a bloke!
He just absolutely dominated Grealish yesterday completely. He had him in his pocket the whole game. And what was good is he was really winding him up as well. Yeah. I don't know if you saw in that first half. He was just trying to get to him, and it was working because Grealish got booked early on.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you guys saw at half time, Grealish complaining to the referees for a solid minute.
Standard.
And he was literally stood on half time. As soon as the whistle went, all of the players were gone. And Grealish just stood with the 3 officials, and he was literally just arguing with them, like full on. And I was just like, mate, just stop complaining. It's not our fault that you spend 80 minutes on the floor, absolutely diving cheap. Seriously, I hate that guy so much.
Yeah, he complains. He complains badly enough as it is. However, when things aren't going right for him, you notice that goes up. So he's already bad as it is. But then as soon as things don't go his way, and a good sort of obviously Veltman had him in his back pocket the whole game. But I've got a question for both of you. So Ben, we'll start with you. Do you think obviously Grealish was massively frustrated and basically he kept him out the game? The whole game Veltman really got him, and so did Kofau. I don't know if you remember the West Ham when West Ham played Villa, had him back pocket and he got really frustrated again. Do you think now that people are working out? I know he's not one of our players, but do you think Jack Grealish is now being found out in the sense that people now are learning to deal with him because he was like an unknown factor in a way after last season? Do you think now people are starting to work him out?
I think so. I think if your team could afford to have a man marking him. Because even when Grealish went inside and was basically playing centre attack and mid, Veltman was still there. So if you can afford to have Ben White, luckily we have him then more covering the right back. If you can afford to do that, then I think people kind of have found him out. And when I think Mika Richards made a really good point. He was saying when Grealish is getting marked out of the game like he can be, that's when other players like Barkley and stuff should be stepping up, but they didn't.
Yeah.
I think that's again down to our solid defence. But I think maybe people have figured out Jack Grealish. If you're good enough defensively to cope with it, then maybe it's going to be a struggle for Dean Smith to get him away from it.
And Ryan?
I'm on the fence a bit because obviously you know what Grealish is like. He's a top class player on his day, by far one of the best. So I don't know if it's easy as saying he's been found out, but he's been not as good as he has been and can be. And I think, as you say, with the man marking of Veltman yesterday, he just completely had him in his pocket for the whole game.
Yeah.
And even when he went central, he was in our pockets. So I suppose you could say that's finding him out on our aspect. I don't know if he's been found out for the rest of the league because obviously he's a top class player. But I think the only thing you need to do with Grealish is just
people are more aware of that.
Yeah, I think as soon as you touch him, he's going to fall over. So. Just don't go near him. Basically, let him have a bit of room, and then if he comes towards you, just take him out like Veltman was doing. He just had him.
I was just about to say
every time.
I think what I noticed definitely with yesterday was Veltman from the off, literally I think it was the first couple of minutes, he basically laid into him straight away.
Yeah.
And I think that's basically
he done it a few times as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Grealish does not like that. Obviously I don't think any player likes it, but especially Grealish, I think sort of mentally, if he gets taken out straight away, he's sort of like, oh right, I'm in a game here, and that sort of mentally sort of like, okay, for the rest of the game that sets the tone. And I know that that whole old saying is like, get into him straight away, lads. Show me there straight away. But I think it's so much more prudent for Grealish. Yeah, for Grealish especially. I don't think he likes that whole rough and tough, stuff, which Kufal and both Veltman did as well to him.
When I was watching it, I really thought, I don't know, when you play Football Manager, you put tackling aggressive. I swear, our tackling was a lot more punchy, a lot more aggressive than it normally is. I saw Basuma flying in, tackled and even Ben White and Lewis Dunk, they were getting really involved in the tackles. Not necessarily on Grealish, but all of the Villa players. They know that they love going down, but if they're going to go down, you might as well actually make them go down properly. I thought our tackling was pretty much spot on. Yeah. Maybe it scared the attackers a bit.
I remember as well. There was a in the second half. I don't remember if Mopey tried to get a corner from Mings, and Mings was going mad in his face. He was he was pointing at him, going mad at him. And I was just like, okay, it seems like there's a bit of a bit of animosity between the sides, especially with Mings and Mopey and
they were having a
Mopey
tussle.
and Concert hate each other as well, don't they? They literally hate each other. Have you seen the video of
Go on,
Mopey in Brentford when he was spitting on Conce's shirt?
No.
So there's a video of Neil Mopey. He's got Conce's shirt on the floor in the changing room, and he's spitting on it and stuff like that. And then do you remember
when they were
last
both
year
at Brentford,
at the
and when
Amex?
Conte was at Villa?
I don't know. I think so. I can't remember. I just saw a video of him with the Conte shirt and he was spitting on it, and he was at Brentford at the time. So I don't know if Conte had left by that point or if he was still there.
Maybe.
But they hated each other when they were at Brentford as well. So there was always apparently they always hated each other. And then you remember last season what happened at the Amex with Conte and Mopey? It all kicked off. At the end of the game. Like Mopey was proper fighting everyone, like he's just taking them all on. And then I remember that because I remember were you there? Like I was there at that game. And I just remember Mopey just coming back and he was like flying at him, like, oh god, it was so funny.
That's the thing.
And it was all at Concer. So I think that's definitely stayed. And then Mings as well. He's always a bit leery, and Mings. He's just not a very good footballer, to be honest. So
they were tussling off the ball.
Like
I saw, I think it was in the first half. Mings, Mopey was making a run through, and Mings just shoved him off. Mopey didn't retaliate, which is quite surprised actually. But they were just giving it to each other.
Unlike
the whole
Mopey.
Game. For a small striker, he was he wasn't bullying them necessarily, but he was giving it back a bit, which is great to see.
Yeah.
Hopefully, him and Andone, and when Andone comes back, that'll just give a little bit of edge, wouldn't it? Because, although it's a bit of a thing with Mopey at the minute, because the fan base seems to be quite torn between whether they like him or whether they don't. And I've always loved Mopey, and I like what he is as a character and as a player as well. Like I like him as a player and what he can do off the ball as well as on it. Yes, his goal scoring form isn't particularly great, but I feel for him a little bit because I feel like he's the sort of player that needs that sort of big man help with him, like he did at Brentford with Watkins. And I think with him, if he had Andone, maybe he's quite a fiery person. I'd like it to be Welbeck, but Welbeck's always out, and he's not going to last 90 minutes realistically.
Well, we saw how well they worked together when we played Villa, didn't we? Like the little and small, the strike partnership. We did well.
Exactly.
So Ryan,
this is the classic, but it works.
Yeah, here's a stat for you, Ryan. So Neil Mopey in the Premier League, right? He is the 20th. So out of all the forwards in the Premier League, he's the 20th top goal scorer. So that's quite. It's not catastrophic, but it's not the best. He's alongside Mane and Ings. So people are raving about Ings this season, saying, "Oh, Ings is amazing. He should be at a top 4 club," and he scored the same amount of goals as him. So you could argue, yes, I agree with you. He could definitely be getting more goals because he's been in so many positions. I remember there's one. My only note I wrote down from yesterday, right, was this one note, and it was about Mopey when he had. And I'll get you the note.
On the second half, wasn't it?
61st minute. Where he should have laid it off to Lallana, but instead he shot and they blocked it. And I was literally screaming at the TV. I was like, just lay it off.
Yeah.
And I just feel like certain times he has got that, he could be scoring so many goals. And I agree with you, Ryan, in the sense that he could be so much higher in the scoring rankings. But there's certain times where he'll either, not pass it when he needs to. So, getting an assist, and he'll just try and shoot. And I'll get blocked or it'll go wayward. And I just think his decision making sometimes is what lets him down. But I think with him, he's got it in him.
I think with him, you'll miss him when he's gone. I think the sort of thing, because I see a lot of people saying, bring on, leave Welbeck starting and Mopey bench. But I don't think Welbeck will give you the same that Mopey does on and off the ball.
Yeah.
His movement and his ability to hold the ball up. And as we saw, give the defenders a hard time, whether it be verbally or physically. He's always going to be, giving them a bit of a rough time, and that's what you want. And I don't know whether Welbeck would do that. I think Welbeck's potentially your better option in a 1-on-1, but I don't know. It's a tough one because then I saw I put a tweet on yesterday saying that I feel like Mopey needs a partner, and then they said, yeah, but who do you drop? Because it's not like Trossard's been playing poorly. In fact, he's been very, very good, and he was probably him or Veltman was my man of the match yesterday. So you can't drop Leo, and then McAllister's been pretty good.
Either, really.
It's just no. So that's the thing. Who do you drop? Who do you put in there? And as I say with Mopey, I think you would miss him if he's not there. He's that sort of person that you would miss him. And as you say, he scored 7 goals in the Premier League, and I think the reason why we're noticing only 7 goals in the Premier League, if you like. It's because we don't have other goal scorers. We only have him.
But that takes me on to my
our
point
next
though,
top
Ryan.
goal scorer is Dunk.
In my frustration watching the game yesterday, I wrote down in my notes, I was like, we're a team full of playmakers and centre-backs. I'll explain that a bit more. We've got one striker in Mopey, and then we've got about 4 playmakers around him. Well, even yesterday we had like Trossard, Alexis, Gross and Lallana, because obviously Zaha came off. So we had like 4 centre attacker mids basically, and then 1 striker. We've, like you're saying, maybe we do need to drop one of those centre attacking mids or attacking playmakers and have an extra striker there who can finish, because just having all those centre backs and centre attacking midfielders just dotted around the starting 11, that's why we're not finishing our chances.
I personally think
we create those, but we don't score.
Yeah, I personally think I agree with you, Ben. That definitely we need that partnership up front. So I think Welbeck and Mopey, I would love to see that partnership, because Welbeck can do all the running and the getting into those great positions, and he can just lay it off to Mopey, and hopefully Mopey can then do his finish it off. So I remember, what game was it? I can't remember exactly which game it was, but I remember them when they played together. They actually looked really good in like the first 20 minutes of them being together. I think it might.
Yeah, it was Villa.
It was Villa.
Yeah, it was against Villa. Yes, yeah, in the reverse fixture. That's the one. Yeah, and I personally thought they looked really good as a combination.
Yeah.
And, we ended up winning that game, and Welbeck scored as well. So I just think Mopey, personally, for me, I think he works much better with someone alongside him. I don't think in that sole striker role. For me personally, he doesn't do it, in the sense that I feel like he feels quite isolated, and he needs that sort of, remember against Arsenal as well, where he made that little 1-2 and he ended up scoring. And I just feel like when he has those combinations to work off, I just feel like he's such a much better player. And I don't know what you guys think on that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what I've been saying this whole time. But I think with I was going to say something just then, it's gone out of my head.
Too many coffees.
God, it's literally just slipped my brain completely.
This is the morning podcast for you.
That's mad. I was literally just about to say something. Mate, I was just about to say something. It's just gone. Like, completely gone. Something my dad said about... oh, my God. Oh, yeah. That was it. So when Mopey seems to when he gets the ball, he said every time he's getting the ball in the box, he had his back to goal. And that's not what you want from your centre forward. You want them to be facing the goal to get a shot off as soon as they can. And it was what I've said so many times, what Ancelotti was doing to Calvert-Lewin, where he said, he's going to try and turn him into that one-touch finisher, which we've seen this season. And he said that's exactly the same way that he trained Inzaghi, and to finish with the first touch. Don't try and take too many touches, or just don't even think. If you have an instinct, shoot. That's what you need to have. You need to have that striker's instinct. I don't think Mopey has that striker's instinct at the moment.
He has the complete opposite. He takes like 5 touches. He has to take like 5 touches in the box before he actually finally gets a shot away, which is the complete opposite to what Dominic Calvert-Lewin is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think, as I say, when he gets the ball in that 6 to sort of 12 yards, he's got his back to goal. And if you've got your back to goal, you're never going to get a shot off. I mean, he's scored a few turns, and I think it was against West Ham he did the one on a turn. Yeah. But it's not going to happen every time. It's a difficult shot to pull off. Whereas if you're facing the goal, you've got a much better chance of scoring.
No, mate, you make very good points, Ron. Once you finally got that point, it was a good one.
My dad said it to me yesterday, and he picked up on it. And to be fair, he's spot on, because
we should get him on the pod, right?
Yeah, it just slipped my brain earlier.
He could be
get Dad on the pod.
Get an honorary member.
He would love it though.
It'd be like Dog Dad versus Ryan's dad.
The thing is, he probably wouldn't be very, very good on the cameras. I don't think. I don't even know where I got it from, because I seem to be the only one in the family that does.
Yeah, right, Dad.
But so I don't think he'd do it.
Okay, and
he'd definitely have some opinions, that's for sure.
Some controversial ones. Love it. We need to spice up the pod. We'll get your dad on.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, let's get him off. We actually are going to do a fan section actually coming up. We are going to do a fan section at some point. So whoever's listening, whoever's on YouTube, if you want to get involved, just DM us on Instagram, and then we'll hopefully try and get that done in probably like during international break, maybe one of those sort of spots. We'll try and get
and also give us some ideas of what we can do, because maybe getting people on the pod loads of people on the pod might be difficult. So. Try and think of some ideas.
Just do like some. I reckon we do some like personal ideas.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah,
as well. My dad's been a fan since the 70s, by the way, so he's probably got a few stories to tell.
I love that. That's what we need to get. We need to get some stories on as well. So hopefully, I want to get us. I want to get some ex-pros on as well. Hopefully, we'll try and get some good stories from them. That'll be good as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, back to the game. Yeah, just to summarise, I think, because we've pretty much covered off the main talking points, really, apart, all the saves that Martinez made. But just to summarise, yeah, I thought it was a really strong performance. Obviously, just the goal was lacking that we needed just to get through there. But on the whole, I was really impressed, and I thought, the boys done well. And to summarise, 6 unbeaten now, the best in the Prem, that we've not done it for 38 years in the top flight. So
yeah, that's class.
We can't complain, can we? Like at the moment where we sat, how we're doing,
good.
And where are we now? We're still 17th in the league, or have we gone up or two?
Yeah, I mean, my mate who's a Man United fan, he's got a massive agenda against us anyway. And he messaged me and he just said, I've got a lot of respect for Brian at the minute. He said, he said, you play such nice football, just very, very unlucky. 6 unbeaten, as we just said. I mean, we can't complain at the moment. And I actually was speaking to one of my mates yesterday, and he said, to be fair, a 0-0 against Villa maybe isn't as bad because... you look at the 1-0 against Burnley, we really didn't deserve that draw at all.
Yeah.
So maybe it sort of levels itself out at that point. But, that's one thing to maybe take from that.
I think what I took from Martinez's post-match interview, he was being like, we came here to win, and we came here to look and get 3 points that will push us further towards the Europa League spots. They just climbed Spurs by drawing with us. So, let's not forget that we beat a decent team. Last year, we know how bad they were. And they fluked of Hawkeye, and that's the only reason they stayed up. But the only reason, but this year they're doing well. So I think we should be kind of happy with the point, especially where we are. Yeah, so we are 15th now, 11 on points with Burnley.
Yeah, 3 off Palace.
Yeah, Palace. That's why going to be such a massive game.
Same games played as well. So we played just as many games as them. However, around us, so Fulham have got 2 games on got 2 games in hand on us. Newcastle, Burnley, and Wolves have all got a game in hand as well. So yeah, we'll see how those all pan out. But yeah, even if let's say we fall to 17th again, whatever it might be, after Burnley and Newcastle win, if they win, then it won't be as rosy, so to speak. But still, we're doing well. We're still 6 unbeaten, and yeah, like we've said, we can't really complain. So it's good times to be a Brighton
Speaking
fan,
about Palace, though, I'm feeling good, because they've still potentially got Zaha out, and I've seen that even if he is in the squad, the chances are he'll be on the bench. I mean, I don't know how true this is because obviously I'm not a Palace fan, so I don't really keep up to date. But apparently Zaha is most likely going to miss it, and I'm not going to try and jinx anything, but in 19 Premier League games, Palace have lost 17 without Zaha, and I think that dates back to 2016.
Really,
so
that's a mental.
They've only That's mad stat. Yeah, so they've lost 17 of 19 without
Burnley look like Barcelona against them as well. So that's crazy.
Exactly. Like they're the biggest one man team in this league. Honestly, they are the biggest one man team.
Without Zaha, just without Zaha, they are genuinely, for me, they'll get relegated. Facts. Like without him, they are in big trouble. And was it Josh, the Leeds fan that we had on? He said without Zaha, they would come dead last. He reckons dead last, not even
they would.
Relegation.
Yeah, I think they would.
Bottom of the table. It's mad that stat you pulled out, Ryan. That is actually nuts. Like to heavily rely.
Off the top of my head, I didn't even know.
To rely on a player that much. I think just shows, and basically just to clear this up because I don't know if he listens to the podcast, but HLTCO, who's a big Palace fan, tweeted yesterday about how sort of he's very obviously upset at the result. They got basically outplayed off the park, and he tweeted something, and I quote tweeted it saying, you got a very average squad, and he didn't take that very well, and he wasn't too happy about that. But my sort of, just to clear that up, I wasn't having a personal attack on him. I was just saying that for me personally, that squad, and especially when you take out Zaha, which you just proved, Ryan, by that stat, when you take Zaha out of that squad, please tell me, apart from Eze, with the exception of Eze, please one of you tell me who's actually good on that team.
No, I can't. No, their keeper's
good. Guaita, that's it.
Yeah, their keeper.
Guaita. Okay.
What I will say about that tweet though, Maz, I think the fact that he was blaming the Palace's kind of downfall and dip of form on the fact no fans were there. Now that's kind of laughable for me, because professional footballers, to get to the point of playing in the first team football, they were playing youth team football and without any like fans there. So they're used to playing football without fans.
But
maybe
not only that,
maybe
Ben,
they're used to playing with. Maybe they prefer playing with fans, but
Yeah.
they are footballers that have got to that point by playing football without fans watching. So to blame it on the fact that there weren't any fans there, it's just.
But not only that, Ben. But not only that, it's the fact that it's a level playing field for everyone. So
Yeah, for everyone.
Brighton don't have any fans. Like every team in the league doesn't have any fans. It's like when people, like when Ty from Arsenal Fan TV goes, "It was raining." Yeah, it was raining for both teams. Like, it wasn't one half of the pitch that was dry. It's not. It's the same with like in the stadiums. You don't have half the stadium with crowd for one team and half none. There's none for everyone. So that's what I was a bit baffled about that. And he was like, "Oh yeah, you're trying to get likes on Twitter." I was like, "What are you talking about?" I just simply
the fact that no fans were there. That's the only effect that has is that teams can win away more. It doesn't affect the home players really too much.
But yeah, no. Look, just to clear that up, it wasn't a personal attack at all. It was just genuinely, I was just stating my opinion that I think without Zaha and Eze, I think it's a very painfully average squad, and I think that's the main. And for me as well, Roy Hodgson is done out here. He is finished. Like as a manager, he is done. He's
I can't believe he's even still got a job. To be fair,
he's so old
like,
school.
His football. Oh my god. I'm so glad we don't. Imagine if we had Roy.
See, this is the thing.
Imagine if we had Roy.
Yeah, mate, Ryan, we were talking about the whole, like, Potter out brigade, right? I would love to see this Potter out brigade to have Hodgson in for a season and then, count your stars.
Yeah.
Like, how lucky we are to have Graham Potter in charge, because you have all these managers, like, you look at Sam Allardyce, Alan Pardew's, Kerbishley's, all these, like, Brexit, old school dinosaur, managers that somehow get these jobs, I don't know how, and they just play anti-football. You look at Sam Allardyce, people are like, oh yeah, he's going to keep him up. They've been probably worse under Allardyce. I'm so baffled. And I think we're very lucky to have a forward-thinking manager in Graham Potter, and I think people forget that quite quickly.
Yeah,
I'll wait until we've played them until I mention Palace. Yeah.
We got to mention it. We're doing
They've
a
all
preview.
turned on him anyway.
That's the thing. Like
true.
the fans are getting wound up by him, and that is as soon as the fans start turning on the manager because Zaha's not playing. But surely Palace fans know that they are so reliant on a one-man team. They can't be that.
Yeah, they do. They do.
To be fair, they do. I was actually looking at your replies, Ryan, because I know you tweeted, Ryan, about sort of how dependent they are on Zaha. And in all fairness to them, I saw a lot of replies from Palace fans going, "We know we're dependent on Zaha," and they quite happily admit that they are.
That is the one thing about Palace fans compared to like the Leeds fans. They actually know when they're bad. Like they give me a fair amount of abuse and stick, and I don't really care. But like at the end of the day, they're honest and they know that they aren't very good at football, and they know that their team is very poor, and they know that Roy Hodgson's a massive dinosaur. So I think that they're probably the realistic fan base. As much as we hate Palace, like I've got to respect at least. They're not completely delusional. I mean, yeah, they have a small minority, and I speak to Wedster from Copper quite often, and he on Twitter he's just an absolute clown. Harvey, if you do see this somehow, mate, you're a clown on Twitter. Like no one can even lie. But
just for context,
I speak to him off
Palace
there.
Fan, just for anyone who doesn't know who that guy is.
Yeah, he just makes.
It's not Yappy Harvey. This is a Palace. This is a passive Harvey.
No. Yeah. He just makes videos on Copper 90 basically for Palace. And he just said, like, he always just puts on bait tweets all the time. And sometimes I think he's being serious. But I messaged him and I just said, mate, what's your combined 11 for our teams? And to be fair to him, he literally only included Guaita, Eze and Zaha from their team. That's literally it. The rest of them are Brighton players.
And even Guaita, you could argue Sanchez is better.
You could argue that for some.
And now you can, to be fair. Yeah. If I'll give Guaita it still, just until Sanchez has approved it for a bit longer. But when Sanchez has proved it for longer, then fair enough. But
we're talking about
Zaha and Eze, I'd take any.
You could even argue Eze. Like I would. I don't know if I'm being biased.
Yeah,
but
true.
Talking about form, like last 5 games, Trossard's been great. Lex has been great. Like if Eze's replacing one of them, I think that would be up for debate. I don't think it's that easy for Eze to get.
True. I don't know. I'm a massive fan of Eze. Like I remember watching him.
It's the way he glides past players, isn't it?
Yeah. When I first watched him, I was at a QPR game, and I watched him for the first time. I think it was against Stoke. And honestly, I was just in awe. I was sat there and I was just watching him. I was like, he's going to be some player. Like, and this was he's 21 now or something. Or he's still young now. And this was like when he first sort of burst on the scene. I remember, like you said, Ryan, the way he glides past players is mental. Like he's so effortless, and he reminds me of do you remember Dembele for Tottenham? Like the way, not in the sense that stylistically,
strong,
but like
just
where how he used to beat players. It reminds me of that. Like he's just effortless. Like he doesn't even look like he tries. And I'm a massive Eze fan.
We've got Taylor Richards though, mate. We've got Taylor Richards. Trust me, he'll be like Eze soon.
Yeah.
Nah, seriously, have you seen him for Doncaster?
He does look good.
Oh, what a player, mate!
He does look very good.
What a player!
excited.
I've seen
I'm
some of his
excited.
goals. But is he actually playing well then?
Yeah,
he's been like I saw one of his goals. He went all the way from his own half, and he just literally dribbled through the whole team, and then shot on the edge of the box, went in. And then his goal last week got Megnuts of the week on Soccer AM, and it also
what an accolade.
it also got goal on the goals.
That,
of the week.
no, that actually
mate,
is
it's
an
actually
accolade.
class.
Yeah. Shout out to you.
So yeah, he nutmegged him on the edge of the box, fake shotted it a little bit, and then just reverse shotted through another guy's legs. It went into the bottom corner.
I feel like I'm there.
Literally, I'm so excited to see him.
I'm
I'm so excited to see him, mate. I was trying to watch Doncaster and they lost 4-0 yesterday, so I was like, oh, never mind. But then, yeah,
won't watch those highlights.
nah, we won't watch that one. But then when he scores next week, it's all good.
Yeah,
and he's 20, so he's only just turned 20 as well. So he's
mad.
He's young. He's got a lot of time.
I am a massive Eze fan, but no, Ben, you're right. You could definitely argue that
that's Richards, by the way, 20.
Oh, sorry, Richards. Okay, I thought you were talking about Eze.
Eze's 22. Eze's 22.
Okay, there you go. But yeah, going back to the whole sort of debate of sort of who gets in where. I think Eze and Zaha for me are the only two that, and Gaeta are the only three that sort of have a shout at the moment, because I just feel like they're not at the moment. The form, especially at the way they're playing, they just don't. I watched them against Burnley yesterday, and genuinely they did not offer anything. And Burnley,
did you see
like
Van Aanholt get bodied by Matt Lowton when they scored that unbelievable goal? Van Aanholt stuck a leg out, and Matt Lowton was like bosh and just flattened him to the floor. It was great to see.
I actually rated Van Aanholt before this season. I think he's had a poor season. I actually thought he was a really good left back, but he's
very good left back.
Do you want to hear something? This is what I was saying to that Harvey kid earlier, and he said that Patrick Van Aanholt is the worst player he said he's ever seen put a Palace shirt on in the Premier League. He said he's so bad.
Harsh.
That's what he said. I haven't really watched him close enough, so I can't tell. But that's what he said. So he said it yesterday, so it could have been reactionary.
Again, Palace fans will know. Palace fans will know much better than me because they watch them week in, week out. But from what I've seen, I thought especially last season, he was actually really good.
He's really good at going forward. Maybe he's not good enough for their defensive. Because how.
Yeah, I haven't really watched him close enough to be honest.
Maybe not as good as that.
I mean, Palace fans will know much better than us because they watch them week in, week out. So it's a fair statement from him. But just from what I've seen, he doesn't seem that bad. But what do we reckon then, boys?
I actually realised yesterday.
Go on.
Sorry, I just realised yesterday. I barely know anything about their team. Like apart from Zaha, I literally don't really know anything about them at all. Like I'm not even saying that to sound like patronising or looking down on them or anything, or just trying to get to them. I genuinely don't really know much about their team. Like I sort of know Tompkins and Cahill start, but then I asked that guy yesterday, and he said, "Well, they don't." It's like hit and miss as who starts in centre backs.
I think
they said that Mitchell's good, but he doesn't start because of Roy.
Yeah, I remember.
And then it'll be who's their right back?
Mitchell came up against Lamptey. Do you remember that?
Fine.
And they had a really good. Yeah. They had a really good battle.
Yeah,
Mitchell,
that was actually a good little tussle. To be fair,
that was really good. But I don't think we're going to see that, are we? Because Lamptey probably.
He's
not going to.
Lamptey's back, but
he might be back for it.
Yeah.
He can't start though. I don't reckon he'll start. I reckon he'll be on the bench.
He can't you because imagine first of all if you
can't drop Veltman as well.
Yeah, Veltman's been class firstly, and secondly, imagine he came up like he played. Like, I think I said it last week. Imagine he plays and then he gets injured, straight away. You're just like, what?
Yeah,
the point?
Exactly.
I'd rather have Veltman.
Start. Well, to bring him on as an impact sub, that would be unbelievable. Like, imagine how pacey he would be against that Palace with 20 minutes to go.
And I've seen a lot of Palace fans raving about Yaro Riderworld.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah,
how has he got so decent for them? Because I remember he was so bad. He played against us last season at left back, and now he's there holding mid. And it's just like, how has that even happened? Like I remember,
it was De Boer,
apparently he was for their under 23s.
It's Frankie De Boer that signed him when he
came from Ajax, didn't he?
Yeah, he came from Ajax.
Yeah, and he said apparently he was one of the worst players in their under 23s. And then he was one of their worst left backs, and now he's in holding midfield, and he looks genuinely really good. It's really weird. It's a bit like I guess it's like Basoli's always had the talent, but I suppose it's like putting him in left wing back, and he's so much more effective than anywhere else. But
I think he's always been like a mid.
One of those.
You think he was always a holding midfielder. I remember like when you sign him on FIFA, he'd either be like right back or CDM. So like he's always had that in his locker. So putting him left back probably wasn't for him.
And also one observation, just quickly, just from looking at their squad, like briefly, they're very similar to us in the sense that their top goal scorer is Wolf Zaha with 9 goals, and then you look at the rest of the squad, their second most goal scorers is Eze and Benteke with 3 goals. So they've got that same sort of problem as us, where they've got
literally
this,
identical.
Yeah, so they've got this
Literally.
this sole one striker who gets them all the goals, which is our Mopey, our version of Mopey, and then they've got basically no other really people that are contributing goals wise, and we got Dunk as ours, and they've got Benteke and Ayew as theirs.
I mean, that's another proof, isn't it? If Zaha's got 9 and Mopey's got 7, that's another, like, you know, people rate Zaha so highly, and if Mopey's got 7 goals and people don't rate him that highly, it's another one to say, look, he's not that bad.
Yeah, no, definitely.
He's not that bad.
Yeah, my only thing, just going back to Mopey, I know we don't want to sort of go too much on him, but my only other thing as well is that assist wise, so he's only got 1 assist to his name, and you look at, I know this is a big comparison, like the levels are completely different, but you look at the likes of Kane, you look at the likes of all these like top strikers that are doing it, they actually provide assists as well as scoring goals. So that's one thing I would like to see Mopey do, maybe just add a little bit more to his game, is like, like for example yesterday when he could have laid it off, that would have been, if we'd scored from that, it would have been an assist to his name. So I just feel like sometimes that element of the side of his game as well could maybe improve. But I mean, just score goals for now, mate. If you're listening, just score goals. Forget about assists for now. Just put it in the onion bag, mate. That'd be great.
I'm
One
quite
more thing
confident
as well.
for this,
Oh, go on, Ben.
No, you go.
I was going to say, still on the back of the Villa game, I was just going to say, Steven Alzate, again, being put in another position in left wing back. I know he played there for Leicester, but again, another composed performance. Didn't do a thing wrong. He's just another position to add to his name. I think if you had a team of Steven Alzates of where he's played for us, he'd nearly cover the whole pitch.
Yeah.
We wouldn't need many more players. He's just, it's just unbelievable as to how he can go to left wing back, right mid, left mid, attacking mid, centre mid. He can play anywhere and he's still good. So yeah, he dealt with Grealish when he came over to him as well. Did very well. Took him out as well, which was great to see. I've got that photo. Posted it on Talk Seagulls. Just beautiful things. Got to give credit to Alzate for being able to do well against the Villa side, who, let's face it, have been very good this season. And we've got someone who's out of position completely, excelling again. So more talent. My
only thing on Alzate is, right, what is actually his best position? I actually don't know. Well, no, not his best position. Sorry. What's his
No idea.
like? What position does he? So one thing, if I could ask him, is what is your position? Where would you like to play? Because I don't know.
I think his natural's meant to be attacking midfield, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But then he just play. I like him in wing backs. I think he does well there. But yeah, he just works anywhere, literally anywhere. Centre mid, he did well.
I think he does quite well there.
Yeah,
as well.
that was good.
Pascal does.
That was good.
But yeah, that's
He's just
my
good
only
everywhere, mate. He's good everywhere.
That's my only sort of question mark. Is like, where do you want to play? Like, what's your natural position? Where do you enjoy playing most? Because it's like as fans we watch you, we don't know. Then it must be quite frustrating for him, maybe just the fact that he doesn't get to play where he wants to. But then it's testament to his character.
I see him more as a positive, though.
No, definitely. It's a testament to his character
as to how good he actually is.
Yeah, no, definitely. And the fact he's happy to play anywhere as well. Like, he's like, all right, Gaffer, I just want to play, so I will play anywhere you put me. Because a lot of players would moan and be like, oh no, like, this is bullshit, I want to play where I want to play, and that kind of thing. So I think it's a testament to his character that he does want to just play anywhere and just wants to play football, which is... that's good.
I'm sure the Colombia manager probably likes the fact that he can play in so many different positions. Like any kind of player, any team, like a national team, has a set number of players in the squad, and versatile players come at a premium. So the fact that you can have a player in that squad that can play so many different positions is so beneficial for him.
No, for sure.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of him. Really, am.
Definitely.
I think he's got a massive ceiling. I mean, as you say, versatility is so hard to come by. And if you've got a player that's got the skill set to do it, because it's not as easy as you'd think. It's not like, you can just put him anywhere and he'll perform. It's hard work. Every position is different. And Alzate makes it look easy. And I think that's a very, very big thing, to be honest. It's probably not said enough.
He's our very
really
own
for us, I'd say.
John O'Shea, isn't he? He's our very own utility man.
Yeah.
John O'Shea.
He is.
Do you remember Greg Halford? Do you remember Greg Halford?
Yeah.
We played him like up front, centre back, right
Yeah.
back, left back, everywhere, literally everywhere.
He was-
Probably should have just gone in goal by the end of it, just for the band. But yeah, he's our new Greg Halford, but a little bit better than him as well.
A little bit better, yeah. So yeah, with regards to the Palace game, then boys, what are our predictions? Ben, we'll start with you. How do you see the game going?
Okay.
I think, going on the back of another decent performance. I think Trossard he's so consistent now, and yesterday he's one of our best players. He such quick feet. He's getting past players really easily, winning decent fouls in good positions. Shame he couldn't do much with them. But I think if he plays like that against Palace's defence, he could cause a few troubles. I'm confident that we'll play well. There's no denying that, but it's just whether we'll score. And it's going to be the same problem again, I think. So if we do manage to score, probably one goal, maybe two. But that is really pushing it. So I'd like to think it'll probably be, or I wouldn't like to think, I think it probably will be 1-0 to the Albion.
1-0 to the Albion. Ryan?
Depends if we can take our chances, really, doesn't it? Because I don't have a doubt that we'll go and try and control the game, create lots of chances, run them around a lot, and then it'll just be a matter of, can we score? Maz is having a choking fit. It'll be a matter of, can we score when we get into that position? And I hope we can, because we've proved that we can do it against Leeds, against Liverpool. So we've proved we can do it. Yesterday was a bit of a shadow of what we have been like. But I feel like, if we take our chances, we dominate the game like we know we can. If Zaha's out as well, I'd like to think we can go beat them 2 or 3-0. But, I won't get too excited because that's what we can do. But I think more realistically, maybe a 1-0. Yeah, that's also a thing as well. Guaita's good.
Made so many amazing saves.
Let's go head saying 1-0, heart saying 3-0.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Like that. Then that leaves me then. So I think, it's pretty much echoing what you both have said. But yeah, going into the game, I'm full of confidence just the way that we've been playing. Even last night, I thought we were by far the better team and against a good Villa side as well. But yeah, my one fear is Guaita turning into Superman. I remember against Spurs, he was unbelievable. I don't even remember that game against Spurs. He was unbelievable. So if he pulls out one of those, then cheers, RIP us. But no, if we can play the way we know we can, I think. So I'm going to go with a 1-0 win. However, I think it will be another draw because we are draw specialists this season, and we drew against them.
If
in
you
the
want
first
to draw,
game.
come to us.
Yeah, we drew
Hove Albion.
we drew against them with a McAllister last minute injury time equaliser, and then. I think it's going to be another draw. Yeah, so I'm going to go with a win, but I would not be surprised at all if we did get a draw. So yeah,
if being more positive, we're on the back. We're in some decent form if you look at our results, and I don't know past Burnley's. I don't know past Palace's loss to Burnley. I'm assuming they're pretty out of form as well. So
yeah,
well, if you're looking at it on paper,
don't really care
it should be a guaranteed win, but that could be egg on my face, and Palace could turn up and their players other than Zaha, if he's out, might have one unbelievable game. You just don't know. They might be, they might be really up for it. They might think, look, boys, we got the fans on our back here. We know how badly we are. We know how badly we are when we don't have Zaha. Let's really try here in a big derby for them. So you don't know what the Palace players are going to be thinking. They're obviously going to be wanting to play well. So yeah.
I think Roy will park the bus though. I think he'll just. You remember what he did at Selhurst? He just literally parked the bus for like 90 minutes, and that was with Zaha. They didn't do anything.
They only scored from that
at all.
Stupid penalty. Unfortunately,
that was actually
got so unlucky with that.
That was never a pen.
Yeah,
that was it. And
they were actually dead.
They literally just parked the bus for 80 minutes. Parked the bus, and even when we played them at the Amex game before that, the day after my birthday, it was literally they basically parked the bus for majority of the game. We had like 20 shots or something ridiculous, and then they scored one counter attack with Ayew, how you say his name, and then what was the one at the Selhurst before that? Oh yeah. We dominated them. 1-1 finish because Zaha scored in like the 70th minute. Yeah. So literally, it's just him carrying. Yeah. And in the season before that, we got a double over him. So yeah, basically, we've got the better hand of them nearly every time, but they've just been very lucky. So hopefully, that our unluckiness comes to an end, and their luckiness can finally come to an end. Because it seems as though 3-0 loss to Burnley, maybe their luck's over. Hopefully,
fingers crossed.
But yeah, it'll be a tough game because it's always like a cup final, isn't it? Yeah. So we'll see.
We'll see. Well, fingers crossed, boys. The positivity train is we're still going. We're still going away. So fingers crossed.
Still going, mate.
Still
going.
But just talking of Zaha, we mentioned him quite a few times. Now he did a really good interview on another podcast on the Judy. And he said something.
Yeah, I saw about this.
That was a really good podcast, and he did say something that was quite big, like went quite viral in the media world, and he was talking about taking the knee. Just to briefly touch on that, just quickly, we just want to talk about that whole sort of scenario and sort of the effects on it, as you know, on a social side of things. And he made a point of saying that it's sort of like it's lost its what's the word? It's lost its effect,
meaning.
So it's meaning. So you could definitely argue for and against that. I think I personally think some people might see it, but then at the same time people are talking about it, and that's the point of it, isn't it? It's to raise awareness.
In my eyes, it's a reminder. Every single time they do it, the commentator says the players are taking the knee for Black Lives Matter, and it's a constant reminder. That's why I see it as beneficial.
100%. And that's a great thing. But then you could argue on the flip side, again to play devil's advocate, you could then say that it's one of those things. Is like, okay, it's great doing that, and it does raise awareness, all these great things. But then, what are the tangible actions that are being taken? So what are actually people doing about this? Like,
I'm starting to think that now. I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think: is it really working? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think with the Tuanzebe's comments recently, it's like it's not doing anything. If anything, it's probably aggravating it worse. If you know what I mean. So. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I think the answer to me would just be, look, if you're going to be racist on social media in person, it's a life ban from the stadiums or on social media, whatever it is, right? So when we get back to great games, if there's the monkey chance or if there's a bad chance, instant life ban without even a doubt. If it's on social media and Tuanzebe's comments is horrible, and it was just calling him black and all this horrible stuff. It's like, well, just ban them. Just ban them straight away. Don't think about it. Don't do the suspension. Don't do the stupid 6-month ban. Just ban them. Just take them off social media. It's their fault. They've tweeted it. They've commented it. Whatever they've done, whether it's a joke or not, it's not funny. So you're done. Yeah. That's as simple as that. And I don't know if taking these working anymore.
Yeah. And that's the thing. There's loads of like we just said. There's loads of pros and cons. Like, it's raising awareness and keeping people talking about it, which is the whole point. But then on the flip side, it's like the tangible. We want to see sort of tangible actions from it. So there's definitely like two sides to it. And I think it's not for us to say, because it's not for us to say and decide on that. But we can obviously give our opinions on it. But one thing I do keep seeing on the whole let's talk about the social media thing now, like going away from the taking the knee and the BLM thing. To people I see on social media, it's like, oh, these footballers, if they don't like the abuse, why don't they just log off, turn off? Why don't they just deactivate? I'm like, what? Why should someone deactivate or cancel their blah blah blah, like get rid of their social because someone's being racist to them or they're abusing them? Like, why should they? Why should they be going off social media? That's like such a ridiculous thing to say.
Someone suggested that footballers shouldn't have social media. It's like that's ridiculous. Just so far.
Why shouldn't they? Why shouldn't they be able to have social media? Like, that's such a stupid thing to say. So that makes no sense. Yeah, that really did annoy me. And what was the other one as well?
That quite literally made me laugh.
Yeah, and then the other one.
It's good to see Aaron Connolly back though. Aaron Connolly's back on social media. Hopefully.
Is he? I haven't actually noticed that.
He came back
and the other thing as well,
I follow him back now.
is really funny that I see is people going, oh, well, they get paid enough. I'm like, what has money got to do with someone being abused?
It's not in their contract. Say you might have abuse and that kind of. It's not in their contract. They don't sign
notice how all of the arguments against it are so ridiculous. Dumb with no logic. That's how I sort of view it. I'm just like, I can't even be bothered with it because it's like if you're just going to argue with no facts, then you're just irrelevant.
No,
to me,
exactly.
That's how I sort of look.
Yeah, come to the party with some facts and some actual, decent points of view. Then we might take you seriously. But until then, please don't spout absolute bollocks. But it'd be really interesting to hear people that are watching on YouTube and even on Instagram, Twitter. Like, send us your DMs and stuff. And we could even maybe do like a little poll on Instagram, whatever, or like a question sticker. Just let us know your views. In the comments down below. Like, what do you think should be, steps taken on social media and all the other things that we've discussed. It'd be great to hear from you guys as well. So if you're watching on YouTube, stick it in the comment section and we can react. But apart from that, I think we've pretty much covered everything, haven't we, boys? I don't know if there's anything else someone wants to talk about.
Gonna beat Palace. Go smash them.
Oh, we've got a week. We've got a whole week. We've been so used to doing weekends and then midweek game, and it's just non-stop podcast. Jesus Christ! But we finally, I mean, I'm not doing them, but I've finally got a week off. We've got a week off, boys, just to relax.
We've got a week off editing as well, Ben. A week off editing.
That's true. But I was just thinking, saying that, like, what else am I going to do? Like, anyone want to play pro clubs this week? We should make a pro clubs team, and we
should do a Seagulls social pro club. That'd be so cool.
Jokes. Oh, I bet the banner on that.
That'd be funny.
Class. But yeah, no. So you won't be seeing, you won't be hearing from us probably until Tuesday? Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
But no, Ben, you bring up a good point. Actually, that's actually one thing I was actually going to ask you. And we'll start with you, Ryan, just quickly. With regards to that, obviously we've been having a lot of games. So I think for as long as I can remember, we've had a game on a Saturday or Sunday, and then we've had one midweek, Tuesday or a Wednesday.
2 or 3 nearly every week.
Yeah, and it's been going for quite a while. Like, do you think that's going to benefit? Well, obviously, don't get me wrong. Obviously, rest is going to, of course, benefit us. But like, do you think we're better when we just have consecutive games and keep that flow of games, or do you think it's good for us to have that week break and get that rest? I suppose.
I'll tell you what. I got good insight from this. I spoke to Glenn Murray probably a year ago now at the Amex. Sorry, not the Amex. It was at the training ground. So his insight on this is obviously going to be second to none.
Yeah.
And he said that obviously, for obvious reasons, if you're winning, it's great. You want to keep playing. You want to keep playing. He said if you're not, it's not. You don't want to play anymore. You want to just have that break. You want to have the week off. You don't want to think about going to a game. And that makes sense. If you're on high confidence, you want to keep playing. And that completely makes sense. And he also said the point of none of us are ever 100% fit. We're always carrying a knock. We're always sore. We've always got something wrong with us. No one's ever fit 100% every single game. And that's another thing that I thought was really sort of obvious, but at the same time very interesting, because we always expect these players to go out and give 110% every single week, and you'd expect it for effort, but at the same time, if they, you don't know how much knocks and things they've carried. I mean, look at the Jurgen Klopp thing. Actually, let's just take it onto that sort of diversion. He's getting a lot of stick from myself included. I think just for bant reasons, I was just taking a mick out of Liverpool because it's just class to see him fail a bit.
That's it, yeah.
But after what you see about Klopp and his mum, sadly dying, I think last week.
I think it was before that. I think about a month ago now.
It was a few weeks ago, so he's been carrying that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, he's been carrying that poor form, and I saw you break down on the interview after the game yesterday because they said.
I admitted.
They said that you've thrown away the title. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he just basically said, sadly, yes, and he started crying. And that was on the interview straight after the game.
I
and you can just tell, the guy's a broken man. Yeah, he was crying, I'm pretty sure.
Because
you can tell he's a broken man.
You can't see his mum. You can't go to you can't visit.
Yeah,
no, exactly.
Funeral,
or anything like that.
Exactly.
Must be heartbreaking for him.
Yeah, and Graham Potter had the same, didn't he, last year when his dad died?
Yeah.
No one really knew about it. And I was actually at that press conference at the time when he said it and he had revealed it. And everyone was like, oh my God, Graham, you're right. Seriously. Yeah, and you could tell he wasn't okay. And he revealed it at that press conference. And all of a sudden the mood was just changed because people don't appreciate that, I suppose. So yeah, going back onto the Glenn Murray thing, as well as just, physically, you're taking knocks. You don't know what these players are going through. Jesse Lingard, another one with his looking after his family. So yeah, I've gone off on a bit of a deeper version of this, but I thought I'd bring the insight of the press conferences experience I used to go on. So yeah, it was very interesting to say the least.
I mean, you put up two good points. We always think about the physical aspect. It's like, there's they're playing 2 games a week, blah blah blah. Physically, they're going to be struggling. But then, yeah, you're right. We don't think about the mental aspect of it as well. Like they have to sort of get themselves up for 2 games a week. So mentally, they're going to have to raise their game, etc. But then they could have having financial problems. They could be having home problems. They could be having relationship problems. Like they could literally anything could be going on in their lives, whether it be positive or negative.
They'd have financial problems, but I reckon the rest of it, right?
No, you never know that.
They might have invested in AMC by accident.
Yeah. They might have invested into the wrong stock. Yeah, stocks and shares. But but people. For example, there's loads of examples. Cottrell, Corker, they all had gambling problems that you didn't know about.
True,
they run
true.
themselves
Paul
into
Merson.
massive. Yeah, Paul Merson. Like, there's been Anyway, we digress. But like, there's basically they all have their own problems, whether it be small, large, whatever it might be. So they're gonna have mentally and physically they struggle. So no, I think
the physical one's the one that I was trying to get to. The fact that no one's ever 100% fit. You think about it. You imagine how many knocks you take in a game, especially yesterday, Grealish. The amount of knocks he took from Veltman. He's going to be sore today. He's going to be very sore.
Yeah.
He's going to have a lot of ice packs on. He's going to be thinking, he's probably got a lot of bruises up his leg because Veltman was all over him. But that's what we like to see. That's what it's all about.
No,
but,
definitely.
I suppose it's just one thing we don't really consider.
Yeah. Going back to the original question.
Yeah, I was about to say, Ben, go on.
I definitely think that...
original question.
It makes sense. Like, when we have the international break, normally we're wishing for an international break because we kind of come out of form. And then you're like, right, it's time to reset. It's like hitting the reset button, you go again. So I would 100% rather be playing Palace on Wednesday, for example, rather than another 5 days or whatever it is. I think it really does play effect. They're going to have a week off or maybe a couple more days than that. And they'll be thinking, right, let's really work on the team here during this week off. I don't think any of the teams have had a week off for a while. I know Villa did, which was quite weird. But I think, it might be beneficial for Palace and it might be negative for us because we want to keep on that hot streak that we've been on.
Confidence.
High confidence. And it might dip.
Yeah, I think if you hit the nail on the head, Ben, that's the same sort of answer for me, is the fact that they're going to have an extra week. Well, they're going to have a week to recover and obviously give Zaha more time to get fit. So that's not good for us. And also as well, I think because they're
Hopefully
playing...
he's still out, please.
Yeah, fingers crossed. But they're playing badly, so they're going to appreciate the week's rest, whereas we're playing quite well. So we're going to want to carry on that momentum. So I think, you've hit the nail on the head for me, Ben. I think that's exactly the same answer for me. It's like, I'd rather play Wednesday or whatever it might be to get them whilst they're down or get them whilst they're quite vulnerable. And I was going to give them an extra time to work on things, like assess basically where they're going wrong and get Zaha back. So I think it definitely benefits them more than it does us. But we'll see. You never know. We could, it still could do wonders for us. Fingers crossed.
It might mean that they're just dwelling on the negatives for even longer. You never know. It might just mean that they can't. Because I know some. Going back on what I kind of said about some players, some teams that are playing poorly want a break. Some players even say against that, complete opposite. They say they want to play straight away to get out of that form again.
Yeah, to get out of it.
Those Palace players might be itching and really frustrated the fact that they're going to have to dwell on that negative result for an extra week or
3-0 at Burnley is massive. That's a hefty one to take, isn't it?
Lucky lad.
It's a hefty one to take. When they've
down on the play, I suppose.
Burnley had only scored 5 goals away from home before that game. And then they went and hit Palace for 3 at Selhurst Park. Well organised Palace for 3 at Selhurst Park.
Love to see it.
It was. I celebrated that Lowton goal. I was like proper.
Beautiful.
I was like, yes! I saw that going.
The surprise on the players' faces. It was so funny. Like, Ashley Westwood was looking at him like, "How have you just done that?" Ashley Barnes went like that when over his mouth.
I saw that run coming all the way because he took it, didn't he? He took on 1 and 2, and then he just kept running. I thought he's going to chip it over. He's through there. He chipped it over. I was like, oh my god! And then he volleyed it. I was like, oh, what a goal!
He made it
was so funny as well.
I
was working yesterday as well, and I did a tweet video of the goal of the Lowton goal, and I just went, Burnley are making Crystal Palace look. Burnley are making. Crystal Palace are making look Burnley like Barcelona. Finally got there. In the end. It's not as funny anymore. I just absolutely killed it over there. But it was funny.
We saw glimpses of that against us, though. they did have a few decent bits of play against us. And I even said in the last podcast, I was like, they look like the team that
they cut us open a couple of times, didn't they?
Yeah. Right. Well, there you go. Right, boys.
Anyway,
it's been a pleasure, as always. And, of course, fingers crossed we do beat Palace. And hopefully we have a good podcast when you next see us. But, of course, if you're watching on YouTube, please do like, comment and subscribe. It does mean a lot to us. And, of course, keep streaming it on Spotify and Apple. Again, it does really, really help. And anything else, boys?
I'm going to say one more thing. Just one more thing. Happy birthday to my dad tomorrow and my mum this week as well.
Happy birthday, Mr. Adser.
2 birthdays in a week, and I won't be on podcast again before that, so we'll do a happy birthday live on air. So
happy
there
birthday
we are.
to Mr.
And
and Mrs.
hopefully that's a good luck charm.
There you go. Happy birthday. Oh, also as well, it's Valentine's Day today.
Another one.
It's Valentine's Day today.
Oh yeah.
So for anyone
Sunday.
who's watching, in the comments down below, just put down what we're gonna. I was
gonna say put down happy birthday to Ryan's dad.
Oh, there you go. All right, put that down. Put that down in the comments.
And my mum.
Oh,
my mum as well.
And his mum. So just put
Happy
birthday. On the 18th.
Just put happy
That's on
birthday,
15th.
Mr. and Mrs. Adsett. Put that down.
Yeah.
Happy
I'll do.
birthday, Mr. and Mrs. Adsett, in the comments down below. Thank you very much.
There
Right,
we go.
thank you very much for listening, guys,
Love it.
and we'll see you after the Palace game.
Peace.
Bye bye.